Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, I've got to cover myself very, very carefully with what I'm going to say. I don't want to open myself up to any kind of legal action. So, what I'm expressing here is going to be opinion, and it's covered by the fact that I'm going to say it is rumoured that, and there are allegations of, and such flowery language as that, because I obviously am going to say things which may be controversial. So I've got to make sure legally I'm covered. So bear with me when I slightly gild the lily, as it were, with my protective form of speech. Okay, getting that out of the way. So let's get into the nub of this. Now, you've seen the picture there, the thumbnail. Moo, the coos, right? And if you're the sort of person who likes to put a bit of milk on your cereal of a morning, puts milk in your tea or your coffee, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Unless, of course, that milk comes from Arla. Now, Arla are massive. They're the biggest dairy farmer in Britain, the Arla Collective. They sell their goods under the Arla Foods name, but also supply milk to non-Arla milk producers. They've only got so much capacity, sort of thing, and they'll sell on the excess. And so before we get into this, I will say, check. Phone up and check or ask your local supermarket if they use milk from Arla farms. And it's very important you do that. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, this is a story that involves animal feed that's been artificially created using some rather toxic substances. It's about global climate change. It's about Bill Gates. And it is a conspiracy. And it's a hell of a story. And you won't see much of this being pushed left, right, and centre. I think there's a concerted effort, particularly by the government, getting involved to kill this story because it goes against what they're trying to do with regards to climate action. But there is a foodstuff. It's called Bovia. And there's another foodstuff called Rumin 8, number 8. And these are very toxic, chemically made products that are put into animal feed to reduce methane. That is to say, they inhibit an enzyme within the gut of a cow, and that enzyme is the thing that produces methane. Thus, the cow fart problem is said to go away. And the fact is, it works very, very well. Now, I'm not going to get into the cold, dry science of how this inhibits. It basically folds a protein within the enzyme that stops it activating. I'm not going to go in. It's a transcriptase element there. But it's made of silicon dioxide, which is, in of itself, not particularly dangerous. But it's got propylene glycol and organic compound 3 nitrooxypropanol, known as 3-NOP. That can be rather dangerous, and I'm going to explain why it's dangerous in a minute. Now, Bovia, this animal food, and ruminate, and they are, like I say, made of these toxic chemicals, and they have been shown that in time, over time, they can lead to cancer in human. While seemingly safe for cattle, but then the cattle don't really live long enough to experience too much of it, alas, poor ladies. But whilst it's seemingly safe for cattle, it has effects on humans, one of which is possibly, again, we have to say it is alleged that possibly it is a carcinogen, causes cancer in humans. There is also, again, allegedly, probably, who knows, maybe, rumoured, that it reduces sperm fertility. Now, this is being backed by Bill Gates, who's got a lot of action in this one. He's got a lot of history. He's a computer programmer who thinks he knows everything. During the pandemic, he came out and, he's a world expert in virology, a world expert in epidemiology, all this. He was constantly giving his penny's worth. He's not an expert. He's so underqualified. It is a joke. But he's involved with all this. He's buying up vast tracts of land in America so that it can't be farmed. He's advocating for reduction of human numbers. All this, you know. He's all part of that. Excuse me. So the fact that he's involved in this is hardly surprising if what we're seeing is true. And it's an if, right? Got to be clear, because I don't want to get sued. They know these things can happen and they're still doing them. They know that it may well be cancerous. They know it may well be reducing fertility. And yet they're still doing it. Why? Why would a company knowingly use a product that they know has a risk of cancer and a risk of sterility? Unless A, money, or B, there's some kind of conspiracy deeper and darker. And this is where we get into it, because these foodstuffs are being used in Britain and being tested in Britain. Why Britain? Because we are a little island. It's easy to control. It's easy to monitor. We don't tend to go too many in and out with cows, trust crossings and things like that. And so it's containable. We are a petri dish. We are being experimented upon without our knowledge and certainly without our consent. Are they monitoring side effects? Who knows? But here's the thing. Any supermarket selling milk from Arla farms, either directly through Arla or indirectly by having suppliers who are using Arla milk, need to be made aware that these products are dangerous. And in the case of selling milk that they know reduces fertility, it's a crime against humanity. Deliberate sterilization of a group is a crime against humanity. And if they know this and they're selling it, they need to be up. They need to be in prison for life. Crimes against humanity, you don't ever get out of prison. Mass forced sterilization is not a good look. So what I say to you, good people, is this. First of all, and immediately, boycott everything from Arla Foods. Send them that message. Number 2, check to see what milk comes outside of Arla through your supermarket and ask them if they're aware of the cancers and the sterility, and ask them if they want to be part of the whole corporate machine that is attempting to sterilize people in this country. Mass sterilization, crime against humanity. And then ask yourselves this. Why is this story being clamped down so hard by the government? Why are we not being told this? Why is the government allowing it? Are the government in on this experiment too? Surely they should be protecting us. Surely they should say, actually, no, we're not going to allow this. We're not going to say this. We are going to stop this. We're not going to let Bill Gates use his money to create a toxic foodstuff for cattle that has the risk of getting into humans and killing them or sterilizing them. We're going to say no. And they're not saying that. Why not? They've got to be complicit. And therefore, it's a conspiracy. Let me know your thoughts. And remember, boycott Arla. Thanks very much. Bye.